Hello and welcome to the Missouri Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us tonight. I have a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. You can direct your question to a specific school, a couple of schools, or leave a question for all of our representatives to answer about their institution. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. That's what makes that Q&A box so important. This is just one of many different sessions that are being hosted for Missouri students. Be sure to sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is also being recorded. It will be available within about a week's time, alongside recordings of all of the presentations at that same website where you registered, strivescan.com/Missouri. As we get ready to turn it over to our institutions, we have 5 great schools with us tonight. We'll be hearing from Columbia College Chicago, Kansas City Art Institute, Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design, Full Sail University, and Belmont University. So I'd like to welcome and turn it over to our first school tonight, Columbia College Chicago.
Thanks so much, Jennifer. Just getting my presentation up here, and then we should be good to go. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for being here with us tonight. My name is Stephen Barnes. I am an Assistant Director of Admission at Columbia College Chicago, and I am the admission counselor specifically for students in Missouri. So I'm really excited to hopefully hear from you after this evening. Columbia College Chicago is a mid-size liberal arts institution with a focus on the creative arts, and we are based right in the heart of downtown Chicago. So a little bit of Columbia by the numbers. When I say we are mid-size, that's about 7,000 total students, the majority of which is undergraduates. We've got a few hundred graduate students, but our focus really is on that undergraduate experience. And in any given year, with our new incoming freshmen and transfer students, we typically have a new class of about 1,700 students each year. We have over 60 majors to offer. And then when you throw in our minors and other programs, certificates, we've got about over 100 programs total. So lots of interesting things to choose from, and I'll show you a few examples here shortly. One thing I always like to highlight, because we are based right in the heart of downtown Chicago, is that we are by no means a commuter school. We definitely have that residential experience that students might be looking for, despite the fact that we're not necessarily a traditional sort of enclosed college campus. So about 71% of our new students, our new freshmen each year, do live on campus. And that percentage is even higher specifically for students who are from outside of the Chicago area. The vast majority of them live in our residence centers, are actively involved in campus activities and things of that nature. One thing I love to highlight is the diversity of our student body. It's something that we are very proud of. And that's diversity in a lot of different forms. I think first and foremost is that 42% of our student body does identify as students of color. But then we also have about a third of our student population identifying with the LGBTQIA+ community. We have students from all 50 states. Our international students are from 60 different countries. And about 16% of our students are the first in their family to go off to college. In addition to that, I'd like to highlight that our average high school GPA is about a 3.34. Do not consider that a minimum. We are a holistic review process. We take a lot into consideration when reviewing for admission, but that's just to kind of give you an idea of where our average student is coming in at. In addition to that, I will mention that we are a test optional school. So in our admission process, what matters to us is whatever you feel is the best representation of you and your accomplishments and your passions. If you would prefer to apply without an ACT or SAT score, that is fine by us. So I think some hallmarks of a Columbia education are first, the fact that we provide hands-on immersion in your field from day one. So yes, we are a liberal arts institution. Yes, you will be taking a core of liberal arts classes throughout your time with us. But from your very first semester, you'll be diving into that introductory coursework within your chosen major and get a chance to get that hands-on experience. In addition, we provide small classes. So our average is less than 19 students. And in your upper level courses, it'll be even less than that. So in terms of having a lot of support from our faculty, they're going to know your name. They're going to be able to be available for you outside of class time and really give you that incredible industry knowledge that they're bringing to the classroom, which brings me to that final point. I think one of the coolest parts about Columbia is the fact that our faculty are industry professionals who are still working in their particular fields, their particular creative industries. And so they are bringing that expertise into the classroom. They are bringing connections into the classroom. And they are providing students with real world experience opportunities like internships and practicums throughout their time of building relationships with those students during their 4 years with us. As I mentioned, we've got over 60 majors and programs to offer. This is not the exhaustive list. If you'd like to look through all of our options, please go to colum.edu/majors. But generally speaking, we kind of, our majors fall into these sort of 4 major bucket areas. So audio, communication, and writing, media arts, performing arts, and visual arts and business. We do offer a few different degree types. So we have Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science programs, which are sort of your more standard college degrees. And then we also offer some Bachelor of Fine Arts and Bachelor of Music programs as well, BFA and BMuse. In addition to all of the fantastic cultural opportunities available to you in the city of Chicago, because don't forget, you'll be moving to the 3rd largest city in the country, we've got a lot of opportunities for students right on campus as well. So we've got more than 70 student clubs and organizations running the gamut from, ones that are focused on particular creative passions, ones that are more, cultural or community oriented, religious organizations. We've got our club sports. So, again, we're not a traditional college campus. We don't have the collegiate sports that you might find at some larger schools, but we've got all the different aspects of a college experience that you might be looking for. On top of that, there are hundreds of events on campus throughout the course of the year. So just imagine you are going to a school with all these other creative students. And so inevitably at any given, time of the week, you're going to have students who are doing various performances, theater, dance, music. You're going to have students with gallery openings who are premiering a film that they've just finished. So there's these kinds of cultural events on campus throughout the year. And finally, our residence center experience is very much designed with the creative student in mind. Our application process can vary a little bit depending on what program you're applying for, but the main thing I want to highlight is that we have really fantastic financial aid opportunities. So all you need to do to ensure that you are maximally considered for aid is to apply for admission, because we do have merit scholarship, fill out that FAFSA so you can be considered for need-based aid, which includes need-based scholarship from Columbia, and submit a portfolio or audition, which is not required for all majors for admission, but is if you'd like to be considered for a talent-based scholarship. Finally, here's my information. I would love to hear from you. Yep, sorry. I would love to hear from you after tonight, and I will drop my email in the chat as well. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Steven, so much for sharing about Columbia College Chicago with everyone tonight. Our next school up will be the Kansas City Art Institute.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bo Hubbard. I'm an admissions counselor here at Kansas City Art Institute. Thank you all for joining us tonight and taking this time to listen to all of our wonderful schools. Kansas City Art Institute is located in Kansas City, Missouri, specifically in Midtown Kansas City. This is the front entrance of our campus. We are a 4-year school of art and design, offering a Bachelor's of Fine Arts degree. We talk to students across the country about why Kansas City, why KCAI, and the city is such a crucial part of that. Kansas City has an amazing art community, primarily because of the Art Institute and because of the prominence of artists in the city. Whether you are an artist right out of school or maybe a mid-career artist, there are opportunities for different types of participation and being able to show your work even when you are in school. KCAI is located between the Nelson Atkins Museum, which is a giant museum. It's what we call an encyclopedic collection. So they have artwork from the beginning of art making until modern and contemporary art. And then the Kemper Museum, which is solely contemporary art, which means most of the artists are still alive and still making artwork. Both of these museums are free, which is an amazing resource for our students. You're in an art history class, being able to walk across the street and see examples of some of the things you're learning about. And literally across the street, this map gives you a little bit of an idea, but we're sandwiched between those two museums. We have a beautiful green space on campus. We are a very small school. We have about 750 students, But all of our buildings surrounding the centralized green space give students a place to hang out, maybe build a large scale sculpture. We also just finished a few new building projects on campus, one being our new residence hall. All of our students are required, all of our first year students are required to live in the residence hall. If you are local to Kansas City, you would have the option to stay at home. But our residence hall is a beautiful place to help you get integrated into campus, start meeting people, and really make that transition into a college life. Our rooms are suite style living, so it's 2 people to a room and you share a bathroom with 2 other people. So a lot of privacy, a lot of space, and a lot of options to kind of customize it and make it your own. And then we converted our old living center into brand new animation and illustration studios. Illustration is our largest major on campus with a little over 100 students, and animation has doubled in size in just the last few years. So we really wanted to take this chance and provide these new spaces for these mediums and majors that are so popular and so present in high school student artwork. So new classrooms, new studio spaces, and new facilities for these 2 majors. So a few things that are unique about KCAI is one is all of our faculty are practicing artists. So you are learning from teachers that also have their own art practice. They're showing their artwork in galleries across the country. You also hopefully can utilize their experiences and maybe take advantage of some of the connections that they can offer you through internships or job opportunities. We're also able to give all of our students a dedicated space their first year at KCAI. So as a first year student, you will get your own locker, storage space, your own wall space, and an 8-foot table. Hopefully that sounds like a lot if you're in high school art classes and making your things, cleaning them up every day, or even right now at home and maybe trying to keep your bedroom clean with your art projects, but having that space that you can call your own and continue working on projects day after day. Our studio space changes a little bit depending on what major you go into, but you will always have that space that you can continue working on your projects. We have 11 studio majors at Kansas City Art Institute with the option to double major in art history or creative writing. So whether you are working in ceramics, learning how to work with clay, or in fibers with fashion design and textiles, learning how to make and print your own fabric, or photography. We expose our students, no matter what medium you go into, to a variety of practices from traditional to contemporary and modern technology into your artwork. We focus on both fine art and working in the gallery, but also on working with companies, whether you're in graphic design or illustration. All of our students go through our foundation program, which is the entire first year, where you are really honing in on the skills that you've learned in high school, building up your experience and learning how to make art full-time. You are a full-time artist now, and we really want to teach you how to go through ideas, experiment, and try out different materials, maybe things that you didn't have access to in high school. Last year, all of our students received some form of financial aid, specifically a merit scholarship from KCAI. Last year, our minimum merit scholarship was $15,000 a year, but it can go up from there depending on your GPA and your portfolio. So we do require a portfolio for application. It's 10 to 15 images. We would love to work with you on this application. If you have any questions, I will put my email in the chat as well as a link to our visit options. And so, yeah, I would love to kind of sit down and help you with that application process. Thank you all very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bo, for sharing the Kansas City Art Institute with us. We've heard from 2 great schools. We have 3 to go. So I really hope our attendees will think of questions that they can drop in that Q&A about the schools that we've heard from or the schools that are to come. And as you can see from your screen, our next school is the Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design. So Sarah, the floor is yours.
Thanks so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah Sutterfield. I'm a senior admissions counselor at the Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We are about an hour and a half north of Chicago. Originally, I'm from Lawrence, Kansas. and I ended up attending the Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design. So I am an alum of the program. And I was looking at other ACAD schools. First and foremost, I do want to kind of go over, MIAD is a single building campus, which can kind of seem like weird if you're used to being in like Midwest, Kansas, Missouri, and you're seeing all these other universities. It's kind of cool that we're an old converted automobile factory. So very industrial factory in vibes, 5 floors. And we are located in the 3rd ward, which is the historic arts district of downtown Milwaukee. So it has a very fun industrial vibe. MIAD has 5 majors, all Bachelor of Fine Arts earning, and they are illustration, communication design, new studio practice, which is our interdisciplinary fine arts major, product design, and interior architecture and design. You can minor in any of our majors. We also have a robust amount of minors. In addition to that, feel free to email me about them to really curate your own curriculum. We have 930 students total, so we're very close to that 1,000 mark, which is very fun. But we've still maintained really small class sizes. So your faculty to student ratio will be 1 to 18, which is pretty cool. 1/3 of your curriculum will be liberal arts, which is art history, writing, humanities, or sciences. You can minor in all of our liberal arts as well. 2/3 of your curriculum is going to be in your studio major of your choice, right? Starting sophomore year, you'll have a studio, but we have ample space throughout our nooks and crannies of factory walls to have space to make your first year. In fact, it kind of helps build community when you are like writing your name and number on something and putting it in the corner of a classroom and saying, call me if you need it moved. And that's definitely what I did my first year. We are really close by to another major university, Marquette, who we get cross-curriculars through. So you can get a business minor at Marquette. You can also do some intramural dance, as well as some languages. You can get different minors in psychology and kind of really, again, curate your curriculum along the way. We're hearing from a couple other ACAD schools, so all of us are part of this network, which is really great. So you can study abroad with MIAD in Europe and beyond. But in addition to that, you could also study a different ACAD school for a semester to get a different feel of the United States. Our students are extremely focused on not only internships while they're in school, but also their career and their dream job and how they will go about attaining that. And so we help you kind of customize that throughout your MIAD experience, both with the MIAD Innovation Center, career services, your faculty supporting you. It kind of happens in a lot of different ways. Here you see a little bit of the campus and the 252 apartments. I call them apartments, though I call them dorms in the presentation for like a chill factor, but they are in fact 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartments right across the street from MIAD. They have full kitchens, they're beautiful. You do get a personal studio in any major starting sophomore year, and our facilities are outstanding. We have one of the largest printmaking labs in the Midwest, as well as a 10,000 square foot wood shop, sculpture lab, emerging technology center, which, laser cutters, vinyl cutters, laser printers, things that I don't even know how to use anymore because I'm getting too out of date and old with my technology, and that's okay because students are very innovative and can, bring the next thing. So if this is sounding interesting to you, you're probably not a senior at this point, and if you are, that's okay. You can still email me and work with me. But if you are a freshman, sophomore, or junior, this is your college search time. So feel free to email me and reach out. I will drop everything in the chat, but basically, I'm happy to look at your portfolio and start working with you now before you even get to be a senior, so we can really start building that relationship of what you want to know about MIAD, if MIAD's a good fit. So maybe you can figure that out before senior year, But in case you are a senior, or in case you just are taking very, very thorough notes, our MIAD application is free, and there's 3 things that you'll need. The application, which is through SiteRoom. You upload 10 images minimum to SiteRoom of your 10 best and most recent works, and you request your high school transcript from your college counselor to be sent to us. Every student who is admitted into MIAD receives a scholarship. That's it. So the scholarship committee will look at your high school transcript and the strength of your portfolio and determine a scholarship. Out-of-state scholarships begin at $16,000 per academic year, and they go up from there. So email me. I also have a calendar where you can schedule a portfolio review with me. I'm really happy to get to know all of you. And being a Kansas girl who is now a Wisconsinite, I guess I can say that for 6 years, it feels pretty good. So let me know if you want to be part of the Milwaukee and MOACAC community too. Thanks all.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing MAD with all of us. All right, the next school we're going to hear from now is Full Sail University. Jason?
Excellent, thank you. So hi, everybody. I hope you're doing well today. So Full Sail University, if you're not familiar with us, we are a college just outside of Orlando, Florida. We are in a town called Winter Park, and we focus on teaching things involved with entertainment, media, arts, and technology. This is going to include several degrees in things like filmmaking, video game design, music production, IT, computer animation, everything like that. We offer over 40 different degree program tracks that students can pursue, but if you really break it down, every one of them fall into one of these 8 areas of study. These are the categories for every single one of our degrees. Now, what we teach is incredibly important to our students and to getting into these types of industries, but how we teach it is also a big point of focus for us. Our degrees are going to be very fast-paced and they're going to be laser-focused. So our students are on campus more than a traditional college student is on a week-to-week basis. Our students are on campus anywhere from 32 to 40 hours per week. What this means is for all of our on-campus students, each class is only going to be 1 month long. Every month, students are starting and finishing another series of classes, and they are able to graduate with their bachelor's degree in less than 2 years. A bachelor's degree on our campus is set to be done within 20 months if students stay on track. Because these classes is only going to last 1 month, this also gives more flexibility for starting. Rather than only having 3 start dates a year, like the spring, summer, and fall semesters, we have 12. Every month of the year is basically another start date for our students, giving more flexibility to make sure you are ready when you do get started, no matter what that time frame might look like for you. Now, our curriculum is going to be very much project-based. Don't expect to go through and never take a test, but a lot of the grading will be done based off of project, based off of the actual hands-on work. That's really where our focus is, to prepare people for the real world. And part of doing project-based work is making sure you are working on industry standard technology. So the technology we have on campus, we always make sure that it is the industry standard sort of stuff, as well as our students are getting industry standard gear. For all of our students, they are getting something called the Project Launch Box. This is hardware and software that you would need going out into these industries, and this is what you are getting as you're going through school that you bring with you to class every day. And once our students graduate, they still keep this. This is theirs to keep forever, so they have all the hardware and software and they go out into the real world. So there's a lot of focus on this type of work, on being in class all the time and getting through your degree very quickly, learning at the pace where you, for the same number of hours per week where you would be at work in the real world once you're working. But that's not to say that we don't have student life. That is still very much present within our campus. So we have a variety of different clubs. This is kind of a short list. I always like to say students who join clubs, there are 2 kinds of students to join clubs. There are ones who are doing this because they need to take a breather after class. So this is things like tabletop gaming. We have a cosplay club. You know, we have a bunch of different clubs like this. We also have clubs more academically focused, things like the 3300 and Climbing Club, which is a club for our music business students, our collegiate DECA. One of these clubs, the esports club, actually became our only collegiate sports team. We now have the Armada esports team, and we have them play in the Fortress, which is our esports arena we finished building back in 2019. The Fortress is the largest esports arena on a college campus in the United States. So if nothing else, we're leaving today with that fun fact. The largest collegiate esports stadium on a campus is down in Winter Park, Florida. And of course, you don't focus on these types of things without focusing very much on the career side of things, the career development. So we have a whole team for this on our campus called, appropriately, Career Development. And it's between the efforts of this team, as well as, of course, the individual drive of our graduates, that we have grads working in a variety of different places. Again, kind of a short list you can see here at the bottom of the screen. We currently have graduates working at all those different companies. And this career development team offers lifetime support. Any point after a student graduates and while they're going through school, These 60+ career advisors are going to be helping them out. And all of our degrees are also considered lifelong. So our grads can come back and they can audit classes from the current version of the degree that they earned for no additional cost for the rest of their life. And because of this, again, we have a lot of grads out there working in a variety of different places. We also have graduates who can get some critical recognition. So you can see some of the most recent numbers here for the major award ceremonies for these types of industries here on the screen. The Grammys aren't happening until the 14th, so this upcoming Sunday, but we already know how many of our graduates we have credited on those nominated projects. So what would be next steps for getting started? If this is sounding like something you might be interested in, first of all, look at scholarships. Everybody's been bringing it up. It's important. We do accept outside scholarships. Feel free to apply for those. We also have several of our own Full Sail specific scholarships, and we keep a scholarship guide right on our website. Also, take tours. That is equally as important. You need to see facilities. The most in-depth tour that we offer is our behind the scenes tour. You can see the upcoming dates for that here on the screen. And if you are looking for any additional information, easiest way to request it for you is to either scan that QR code or go to that URL. Either way, it lets people know who send the information out that you've heard a little bit about the university already, so you want some more in-depth information. Or, of course, feel free to follow us on any of the social medias. We have profiles on every single one of them. Otherwise, I'm going to drop some important links into the chat for you, things that you might find useful or interesting on our website. And I will also put my email in, although it's been here the whole time. Otherwise, thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a good one.
Great. Thank you so much, Jason, for sharing Full Sail with all of us tonight. Well, we are down to our fifth school of the night, and that's going to be Belmont University. So we'll turn it over to Belmont. So John Palmer, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for taking some time to learn about all of these great institutions. Excited to wrap us up. My name is John Palmer Ray, and I am Assistant Director of Admissions here at Belmont. I'm a graduate of Belmont myself, so I understand the university from the student side of things and now have been over here on the staff side of things, and I'm looking forward to sharing some of this information with y'all. So Belmont is a medium-sized private co-ed Christian institution. We have just over 8,200 students total, with about 6,600 of those being undergraduate students. So the largest school in attendance this evening. Again, we are a liberal arts institution. We believe in small class sizes, which is something that you've seen across the board this evening as well. Average class size for us is about 19 students. So at Belmont, you'll certainly be able to connect with other students inside the classroom, connect with your professors, all that fun stuff. We always say that we think this is a great size for you to be at as far as our campus size goes, because it's easy to get around. We are right in the middle of Nashville, but we have our own distinct campus community. It'll take you about 10, 15 minutes max to get from one corner of campus all the way to the other. So a very manageable college campus, but a more traditional college campus for sure. Our students come from all over the place. About 70% of our incoming freshman class each year comes from outside of the state of Tennessee. So if you're one of the only people that you know, or the only person that you know that's looking at Belmont, you're not alone in that whatsoever. Of our incoming about 1,700 students this past year, those students came from 1,100 different high schools. So know that you're kind of forging your own new path, but there are lots of other people at Belmont that are doing that as well. Like I mentioned, we're in Nashville. I like to think that this is one of the best cities for you to be in because it is a growing city. On average, about 100 people move to the greater Nashville area every single day. So that leads to a lot of new internship opportunities for our students. Of course, a lot of career opportunities available to you after graduation as well. If you haven't been to Nashville before, this is a picture of downtown. We're located about 2 miles south of there. We're nestled in between a couple of fantastic neighborhoods. Just to our west is Hillsborough Village. It is right in between our campus and Vanderbilt's campus. So it feels kind of college towny. There are lots of college students, young professionals that are living in that area. 12 South is an area just southeast of our campus, really popular with students with coffee shops, restaurants, shopping, all of that. And then just north of our campus is Music Row. If you're unfamiliar, Music Row is really the hub of all things revolving around the music industry in Nashville specifically. So if you're wondering where are there record labels, performing rights organizations, recording studios, again, anything you can think of music industry related, that is literally adjacent to our campus. I drive down Music Row every single day whenever I get to work. And this is actually a picture from Ocean Way Studios, which is the largest recording studio in the city of Nashville, completely owned and operated by Belmont University. So we're in a fantastic location in Nashville and in a great part of Nashville to be in as well. Now at Belmont, we have a lot of different academic options really all across campus. A lot of people do know us for the arts and specifically for programs revolving around the entertainment industry, music business, performing arts side of things. But we have just over 100 different majors in total that y'all are able to choose from, and a wide variety of different areas. You can see those listed here on the screen right now. I think it's really great for y'all to see what some of our top majors are by size. You'll notice some of those do revolve around the performing arts, things like music business, audio engineering technology, commercial music, songwriting, all of that, but also a lot more than just music and than just the arts. So what we find with a lot of our students is that these are students that maybe are naturally creative in some type of way, but maybe they don't want to major in something that is creative. Maybe they're looking for business or nursing or biology, whatever that is, but they still want to be in a creative space. Belmont's a great fit for you if you're that type of student, and Nashville's a great city to be in for that as well. We're always launching new majors too. You can see some new programs listed there at the bottom. Specifically, I'm really excited about our architecture program that just started this past year. We're nationally ranked for our study abroad programs. I encourage you to keep an open mind to the idea of studying abroad if that's something you have an interest in doing. You can study abroad for as short as 3 weeks, as long as a full year if you wanted to. We also have semester-long programs based here in the States, in New York City, as well as Los Angeles. So programs where you live there for a full semester, take classes with other Belmont students, but the main purpose of your time there is to have a full-time internship for the duration of that semester. So really a kind of boots on the ground experience, if you will. The idea is that you're making tangible connections that will hopefully lead into a job after graduation. And for those of y'all interested in kind of the arts side of things, which I'm sure many of y'all that signed up for the session are, that's a great way that you can explore those other kind of arts hubs as far as cities go in New York City, as well as in Los Angeles. We do have a really vibrant student community. Again, our students come from all over the country. We are a very residential institution. You're required to live on campus for your first 2 years, and then at that point, you can move off campus if you'd like to do so. Lots of stuff going on campus, D1 athletics with us as well. Just want to throw up here really quick some averages for this past year. You can see our average ACT and SAT, and I'll put my contact information in the chat for y'all as well. So if you have any questions, hit me up. And thanks so much for tuning in this evening.
Great, thank you so much. Well, we have reached, finishing with Belmont, we've reached the end of the formal part of our presentations tonight, but we still have a few more minutes. So I want to give those who are attending just a few more minutes to maybe reflect back on what they heard tonight in case there are any last questions they want to be sure to answer, but also to have a chance to learn a little bit more about the programs that we have and about the college search and decision process too. So thank you everybody for popping back on. I really appreciate it. We're going to start with our first question being, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus to share with everyone? So we're going to start and go in the same order that you presented. So we'll start with Stephen from Columbia. As the person ahead of you finishes, just remember unmic and jump right in, and we'll go around the group. So thank you, Stephen.
Awesome. Thanks, Jennifer. Yeah, this is such an easy one for me. We've got this really fantastic event tradition at the end of every school year called Manifest. Manifest is an urban arts festival that is student powered. So it's a big street fest right in our neighborhood there in South Loop, downtown Chicago. And we've got 3 main stages, multiple gallery openings, performances by students. And the whole purpose of the festival is to celebrate the work of our graduating seniors every year. So Manifest is super cool. I'll drop a link in the chat if you want to check it out.
Hi, everybody. Kansas City Art Institute here. Every semester, we have an end of semester exhibition that's open to the public. We live, Kansas City Art Institute is in a very residential neighborhood. So people from all over the neighborhood are able to walk over, go inside the studios, and it really gives students a chance to present their work and think about what it means to show their work to the public. Thank you all.
Milwaukee Institute of Art and Design here. My favorite thing that happens on campus, I would say, is the creativity series. So every year, MIAD asks one established artist and one established designer to come to campus and spend a week making artwork and designing and critiquing with students, which was one of my favorite parts of being a student at MIAD. So from the Gorilla Girls to Latoya Ruby Frazier to Gandalf Gavon, really awesome artists who gave you some real feedback, some real look at what the world was like. And I even attended the design ones too, even though I wasn't very well versed of who those individuals were, but they were super engaging and entertaining. So yeah, the My Creativity series, look forward to that.
Full Sail University. So hands down, best time of the year at Full Sail happens once a year in the spring. We have our Hall of Fame week, where we are honoring some of our graduates who have gone on in the industry, worked out, made significant progress or done significant work out in these industries for 10 years and have given back to our students in some way, be it guest lectures or however they would be doing that. So we're honoring those graduates, 6 of them every year. And the whole week is just, we put up walls and students can paint all over the walls. We've got food trucks. We did real life Mario Kart where we had Mario Kart with plastic forks on the front. You're trying to pop the balloons on the other Mario Kart RC cars. So it's just like a week of campus life. And then it all at the end comes down to like speeches. And we have a whole building on campus for our Hall of Fame where we have like Oscars and Grammys and movie props and stuff that the grads have donated over to our campus to show off and try to inspire other students. So I'll put a link to that in the chat.
At Belmont, one of the things that I loved as a student, as someone that did not major in the arts, I was a political science student, but I loved being surrounded by this. Of course, we have a great music programs. We have something called the Showcase Series. So these are like fully fledged concerts, if you will. Like if I took you there and you didn't know what was happening, you'd think that this was done totally by professionals. But all of the talent, as well as like sound stage setup, everything audio engineering wise, the marketing, the production, all totally done by students, and they're focused on different genres. So like we just had the pop showcase just a couple of weekends ago. And of course, because of COVID, now we're doing it all virtually. So it's all streaming. So if y'all are interested, just check out the Belmont Instagram page. But there have been some like legitimate acts that have been born out of the showcase series. If you've heard of the bands Coin or Judah and the Lion, those are bands that were put together for the showcase series that are now like making real money out in the real world and touring whenever touring is happening. So yeah, really cool tradition for us at least.
Those are all awesome events. And I hope that this inspires everyone watching to, check out those links, Google it on campus and think, could I see myself being a part of this, attending, and just kind of getting a sense of that student experience on each of these amazing campuses. We do have time for another question. So you all are the pros. You're the pros in guiding students and families through this process, and you have so much feedback and advice. So especially in this unique season that we're into, I would love each of you to share some advice for anyone watching who is kicking off that student, the search process, whether they're in the beginning stages, or tips that you have for students that are, when they get down to making that decision. So any part of the, process from beginning to end, because you are the people that are the pros on this one. So again, we'll start with Stephen.
Yeah, so I think from the art school's perspective, what I want to encourage students to do is to really start spending some time thinking about your art, your creative process. Why do you want to make the work that you want to make? Why do you have the particular creative passion that you have? And, ultimately, you're going to have to be able to articulate that in things like interviews or in portfolios or in personal statements. Start thinking about, is there some work that you've really been wanting to do that you haven't had a chance to do yet? This summer and the first part of your senior year is a great opportunity to start getting some of those things done so you have some concrete pieces to share with us in that application process.
Yes, I agree with all of that. It's, if you are a first year, sophomore, junior in high school, making as much artwork as you can, building that portfolio, not worrying too much about, how is it going to look in the application? just making as much stuff as you can, checking in with different schools, getting feedback, because you can also learn a lot about a school based on how they talk to you about your artwork. Listening to what they have to say. Do you relate to how they're talking to you about your artwork? It can be really indicative of whether you would be a good fit at that school. If you are a senior at this point, it's time to apply, reach out, introduce yourself, get your name out there, and get going with that. I'm sure many of you already have since you're attending these.
Yeah, and what a great question, and I think good timing for me. MIAD is actually hosting an early college planning session tomorrow and Friday, so I'll actually be giving a portfolio development presentation that is geared towards the underclassmen experience. Really, I mean, I'm going to be talking about, like, if you haven't ever made a portfolio or heard the idea of a portfolio and you're freaking out right now in your bedroom, like, yeah, let's talk about that. It spans that to I've made a portfolio and now I'm just like, what school is my best fit? Talking about pre-college, maybe getting on campus this summer, virtually or in person. So you can really get a sense of that school's community. And you know what, scholarships are available for pre-college too. And I think a lot of students don't really realize that. So make sure you're looking at summer programs for all the schools as well.
So Sarah actually touched on mine. I'm the biggest advocate in the world for the importance of taking tours. Whether you're not a senior and you can wait until you can take a physical tour again in the future, or if you are a senior and you need to take a virtual tour, we're all going to talk about how cool our schools are and all the great things that we offer. But no college is perfect for everybody. That college does not exist, and you are not going to know what the perfect college is for you until you actually see the facilities. You get an idea about what that college is all about once you're actually standing there on campus, or once you actually see the labs or the different areas of campus where you'll be working. For so many students, when we were hosting physical tours and I was helping out with that, you would either see that light click and they go, oh, absolutely, this is it. Or you would see that it's not quite the best fit for you. The tour is, for me, the most important thing that you can do when you are going through that research process.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything that's been said so far. And I think that y'all are taking a good first step just by engaging kind of in this virtual space right now. One of my pieces of advice to people is don't feel committed to a certain major. Like right now, you're probably interested in something very specific, or at least broadly, probably in the creative arts in some way. If you stay interested within the creative arts, maybe that medium changes in what you want to pursue kind of full term, but also maybe overall your academic journey just kind of changes and you say, no, I want to go to med school or whatever that is. Don't feel locked down to what you're thinking about doing right now or what your parents want you to major into. I see some like head nods from the panel too. So yeah, just be honest with yourself and be open to what may change kind of in your interests as you go through this college search process and once you get in school.
This is awesome. This has been one of my favorite, asking this question, one of my favorite sets of panels, because you guys just touched on so many pieces of the process, I think, that apply specifically to the arts, but also I think more broadly about ways to approach the search and getting information and, really reflecting about who you are and the opportunities that are out there. And I think also it just ties to connecting with you all as admissions counselors. So my last piece of advice is to remember that every admissions counselor, they're passionate about their school, passionate about their job, but they really care about helping students and families through this process. So there's no question that's too small. That these are the people to ask. It's what they love to do. So I hope that from tonight, you got a sense of that care and concern, and know that these are schools where you can reach out, ask more questions, and follow up after today for sure, after you watch this video. Well, we have reached the end of our time together tonight. So my first thank you is to each of these panelists. Thank you for joining us tonight and for sharing not just facts and figures, but just the passion you have for the student opportunities that exist on your campus, and your willingness, excitement, and energy to invite everyone to explore and learn more. To everyone who's watching, thanks for taking the time. I hope you are excited to dig into your college search process if you're at the beginning and start learning and exploring. And if you're getting closer to that end point in your decision process, hopefully this is helping you along the way. When you all close your windows tonight, there's going to be a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. And again, this is just one of many sessions that are being hosted for Missouri students. We hope you'll sign up for additional sessions. And also remember that you can watch this entire presentation again, as well as all presentations. They are being recorded. In about a week's time, you'll find the videos at that same website where you signed up, strivescan.com/Missouri. So I hope that you will dig in and learn about more great programs or share this with friends and family. Thank you again, everyone, for spending your time with us. Best wishes on your college search and decision journey, and everyone have a great night. Goodbye.